Well, good morning, good night, good evening, everybody. Thank you for being here with us today. As always, it's very exciting to start a new session, a new webinar. Today is one of the most important subjects in BPW, in my perspective. Today we have one of the best members talking about good governance in BPW. She is a long-term member of BPW since more than 40 years ago, and she is actually the Executive Secretary in BPW International. And of course, when I was Executive Secretary, she was my mentor and stay as a very strong person in the executive when I was president, and she was regional coordinator. And she's former parliamentarian. So her life is, it was always surrounded by law and rules. And it was this webinar with the participation of the international past president, Sylvia Perry. Unfortunately, she had a surgery last week and just left the hospital, I think yesterday, and she is unable to be with us today, but I think that we will record her participation or give it to her another webinar for her. But today I am very pleased to have Bessie Hironimus with us. Thank you, Bessie, and I hope that you enjoy, all of you, this webinar. And of course, thank you, Anne Hilty, for making this webinar possible. As always, you are essential to have this training with our members. Thank you very much. Bessie, the floor is yours.
Oh, thank you, Yasmin. It is my pleasure. I'm going to have a couple of things present today. The first part is going to be an overview of the governance of BPW International. All the background on our information. The members should know it already, but it's good to always go over it so that we know what we are expected to know and do. The second part is very short. It's just mostly about leadership on BPW at the local level. And so I'll start with this now, and we'll go with the next one. Okay. Let me, I'm trying to find how to, there I go, okay. I don't know if you can see the whole screen. BPW International says above, and then we have the 5 regions, the federations, the affiliate clubs, and the individual members. Oops, I went back. Okay, our structure. Let me ask you if you can see the blue part at the top. No, okay, maybe I should make my screen shorter so that you can see it well. Anyway,
Bessie, if you switch to full screen, then we'll be able to see it. I think we'll need to do that after all.
That?
No,
Okay.
If you click on the icon at the bottom right as before, it will go to full screen.
This one?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. BPW International, we have I can't even touch it, it's very sensitive. We have the regional no, that's not the one I wanted, just pardon me. Okay, we have the constitutional regulations, which is our structure. We have the procedure manual, which tells us what needs to be done, the organization guidelines, which guide us how to do it. Then, for these documents, which are our governance, the members have an idea to make amendments to improve it. Then they become a resolution or an amendment, and then it goes to the General Assembly. Then they are adopted during the General Assembly, and the documents get updated. The regional regulations, the federations and affiliate constitutions have to be updated to be in accordance to BPW International. The regional regulations are updated during your regional conference, which is held every 3 years. The federations and affiliate clubs update their documents at their AGM, so they can do it every year if they wish. But the executive secretary is notified of all the amendments. I have to look at them and then accept them if they are in agreement with the BPW International. Our governance is the General Assembly. Every 3 years we have our Congress, and the delegates are the ones that participate and decide in the future of BPW. Then we have the executive, which are 11 members elected to take care of all the operation and the management in between the 3 years in between Congress. The international board is formed by all the presidents of all the federations and clubs, and the chairs of the standing committees, which this triennium we don't have them. They may come back if the members decide that. And they are the governing board between the general assemblies. The international board is formed by the executive, the past international presidents, the presidents of the affiliate clubs. If there is more than one club in a country, only one gets to vote, and then the chairpersons of the standing committees. The board meetings are before the Congress. We have an international board meeting. We present all the new issues that are going to Congress. Then we have the post-Congress. And if there is necessary, we have electronic meetings, which we have not need to have lately, but if necessary, we can meet electronically. We have also the Constitutional Advisory Committee, which advises the executive on any changes that we need to make. If we have any questions about governance, we always go to the CAC, and they advise us. They don't mandate what we have to do, but they give us the best advice we can have. The chair and the members are selected by the executive, and the president, of course, has to approve the appointment of the executive. As an executive secretary, I'm part of the CAC, and so is the international president. The protocols that we have is that the registered name of the federation is the International Federation of Business and Professional Women. And for any other purpose, normally for all our correspondence and everything, we are just BPW International. And please do not use BPWI. We just use BPW International. The members must identify themselves personally as members of BPW, but their businesses do not have to say we are members. It's just the individual members, the ones that belong to BPW. The BPW logo is very important to maintain a consistent corporate identity, like all the other organizations do. We always put it on the first part of the document, on the left side of the document, and then you can put the country or the federation or your club on the right side. We do not allow any variations to our logo, even though several of our federations and affiliates sometimes make a little modification. All you can do is put at underneath BPW International, you can put the name of your group. for example, you see these logos and you know immediately which company you're looking at. You have the Lions Club, you have the Rotary Club, everybody knows McDonald's, Coca-Cola. Well, it would be ideal if everybody gets to know our logo also. We have to, this is why we always take our pin with us and try to publicize and make it known, because like all the Rotarians always carry their little pin, the Lions do the same. We should do the same so that people get to know us. About communication, all the members that have any leadership capacity should put their name with their title and the term. For example, I put Bessie Hironimus, Executive Secretary 2017-2020, BPW International. And all the official communications for BPW International should be sent with copy to President's office and to the regional coordinator for her information. And then if you're talking about membership, it goes to the BPW membership vice president. Then it goes, if it is about the United Nations, it goes to that. If it is about the young BPW, you have to give it to the corresponding member of the executive for her information. And always President's office so that they know what's going on. See, the correspondence goes from the members at the left side, from the members through the regional coordinator with copy to the federation and affiliate, and then goes to BPW International. From BPW International, it goes downwards to the regional coordinator, to the president. BPW International, as a rule, does not communicate directly with any of the members or with the president without going through the channels of regional coordinator, and go through the whole protocol. Don't skip any steps so that we are all following the rules the way they should be. This is very obvious. You have to always be very professional in all your communications. Keep in mind the list of recipients. Sometimes we receive emails and we click reply all. And if you don't mean that everybody needs to know what you are saying, be careful with the list of recipients. And also the subject line. Sometimes we have emails and the subject keeps changing after a whole list of emails, a whole trail, and we keep the same subject line. You want to go back to what you were talking, and the first item comes on your email. Don't keep the whole trail unless you want to make a point of having what is that is going on. Otherwise, it's not necessary to repeat all the messages all the time for everybody. When you send to the list of recipients, when you have a long list of people that are going to receive the message, just send them as blind copies so that you don't have all the emails there. Sometimes it goes to other people that you did not want to know about it, but because the whole list is there, it gets bothersome. The phone calls, WhatsApp, group messages, etc. Remember who else is getting your message. Always keep in mind of that. There are sometimes things that are confidential and come to me and I said, oh, really? Always keep in mind the different time zones. Getting calls at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning when you're an early bird, you don't need to do that. So keep in mind the time zones. And we are always encouraging our members to participate in social media and networking, but you have to be your messages have to be very appropriate, because you are the voice of BPW International, and it would be good that you keep your professional status. The comments should relate to our business or a project, a campaign, a policy, or something that is related to BPW. Don't use social things in official BPW media. The input should be in the style and tone of BPW International and the policy, and not promoting anything that is not BPW related. Remember to be professional, clear, authentic, acknowledge the rights of others, maintain integrity and ethical, ensure disclosure and transparency. Don't come with gossips or hearsays, just keep your professional profile all the time and stop and think before you hit enter. Once the message is out, you cannot retrieve it. It belongs to the whole world. Okay, that's okay. As you can see, leadership has a whole set of definitions that we need to keep in mind in order to be a good leader. The qualities of the leader are: a person is intelligent, you have to be honest, be creative, confident, driven, and courageous. You really have to have at least try to have all those qualities so that you are the perfect leader. The traits of a good leader: it does not command excellence. You build excellence. To be an effective leader, your followers must have trust in you and be sold on your vision. Otherwise, you do not get their cooperation and they do not get to follow you. One of the most powerful things you can do is to lead by example. You must be competent, forward-looking. You have to be inspiring. Try to be intelligent, fair-minded, broad-minded, courageous, straightforward, anything, imaginative, and most of all, very adaptable, so that you can match the situation that you have to face. You have to appreciate the differences of everybody that participates with you, and always try to be prepared to any circumstance that may come to you. We have all kinds of people there, and we have to appreciate how different we are, one to each other. Don't expect everybody to be like you. Okay. You have to leave your ego aside. You are there to serve your members. They are not there to adore you and put you up on a pedestal. The BPW leaders should familiarize themselves with their governance, read the Constitution, bylaws, rules, etc. Many times the officers are not familiar with all the rules that they have to follow, and mistakes are made. BPW develops the leadership potential of our members, and every BPW meeting is a training session. We go there and we learn. There is always something that you learn in a BPW meeting, and that allows you to go somewhere else, to a chamber of commerce, to another organization, and you know how to behave properly because you have the training of BPW with you. It is an honor to be elected or appointed to a leadership position, but we always have to remember that we were selected to serve the members. We are there to follow what the members want, their wishes. And remember that the president is the one that presides the meeting, but the members are the ones who decide what is to be done. The president cannot be autocratic. It's not what she wants to do. She is there to serve the members. And that is something we always, the chairs and the presidents, have to keep in mind. The leadership of an affiliate should rotate. Many times we have clubs or federations that they always have the same person and the same group all the time. Remember that we are there to train our members. We have to give them the chance to be leaders. So we have to rotate the leadership, and by having a limited term of office, we can keep training new people, new energy, new ideas, and BPW can always keep up with what's going on. How many times we hear that we've always done it this way? That is the most common phrase that we hear when we go to old-time clubs. The newer clubs are different, but we have, oh no, we've always done it this way. No, get new ideas, get new energy in your organization. The meeting, always have a written agenda. You don't know what may happen, and everybody will know what's following up, and they are prepared. Distribute copy to all the members. so that they know what's going on. And get their input when you want to have to write the agenda. Always ask what they want to include on the agenda. And the meeting should always start on time and have one meeting at a time. Don't allow people to start having private conversations around when somebody has the floor. Avoid interruption. When you need to express your opinion, talk to the chair. Don't talk to other members. Always to the chair, and the chair will respond the way that it should be. Always expect to be recognized before you speak. And get involved in the discussion, in the decisions. Participate and encourage all the members in your group to participate and to be active. And all times, be professional, be a team player, don't start arguments. Just keep in mind, we are leaders. Always have your agenda. Motions. After being recognized, say, I move that we hold a meeting next week or whatever it is, and then get a second from somebody. If you don't get a second, the motion loses anyway. After the second, then the president repeats the motion, and it doesn't belong to you anymore, belongs to the assembly. After the discussion, the president asks for the vote. The maker of the motion should not talk against the motion that she just made, but you can vote against it if you wish. Sometimes you bring a motion just to have the discussion and the opinion of others, even though you decide, well, no, it's not really what I want. You can vote against it, but do not speak against your own motion, okay? And once the motion is adopted, just accept it and go with it, even though you are not agreeing with that. Well, the group agree, and you are part of the group, so you have to go with what they decide. Work. Try to get a cohesive group. Don't polarize your members. That is very, very important for an organization. Now, make sure that you have a quorum for your meeting. If not, you cannot make any decisions. You can discuss whatever you wish, and the minutes should reflect that there was no quorum and no decisions will be made. To make the meetings more effective, present your report in writing ahead of time, so you don't have to read it during the meeting. That takes time, and people don't go to meetings to listen to reports. With all the media that we have, you can email, you can send it ahead of time, and then if you have something new, then you add it to your report, but don't read report. The same thing with the minutes. The minutes should be just talking about the business of the meeting, not how great time you had or what beautiful place you went, just the business. And also be sent before the meeting so that you don't have to spend time. The members' time is very valuable. Don't spend it reading minutes and reading reports. Be democratic. Do not monopolize the meeting. You have to be a team player and let others talk and let others participate. And you don't have to like everybody in order to work with them. You know, the members have selected you, the president and the executive has appointed you. It didn't mean that you have to be a group of friends working together, liking each other. But being professionals, you can work together with each other, and remember that you are there for the good of the organization, not just for yourself. Always keep in mind that you are there to serve the members. Be always positive. A leader is someone who knows the way, someone who goes the way, and someone who shows the way. That is the most important, because then you are training others to follow you. Alone, we can do so little, but together we can do so much. Together, we really, BPW can do so much if we would all work together in harmony. If you have questions, you can always call me at any time. You have there my Skype, my telephone, and my email. Do you have any questions now, or any suggestions for the presentation?
I've unmuted everybody, so whoever wants to jump in, please do.
Vicky, you always have good
Okay.
comments.
Now, well, one of the things I'm interested in is the organisational guidelines, because I don't see that they're actually available anywhere. So where do members get hold of them, and where are they meant to be used?
Yes, you're touching a soft spot with me. The organization guidelines were set because we had a very long procedure manual and the members wanted something that was more concise. So what the committee, it was a committee, right, Yasmin? The committee decided to put what the procedures, what needs to be done in the procedure manual, and the organization guidelines tells us how to do it. But during the current administration, it is the procedure manual what we use, and the organization guidelines have been set aside. I believe that the intention is that they are being reviewed, revised, and then adopted perhaps by the executive. There are several things in the organization guidelines that we must do, like, for example, all the proceedings for the Congress, some of the trophy, the awards that we give, and some of the trust funds and things like that. But we do follow them, but the organization guidelines at this moment is not considered an official document, unfortunately for me, because I like to follow all the whole procedure, the whole decision of the members, but we still consider what's there, but it's not considered an official document. I don't know if I'm explaining myself clearly.
Well,
So, yeah, thank you, Bessie, because, you know, I've tried to, I'm aware that there was this other manual, but I can't find it. Yeah.
I don't think it is published in the website, as I said, because it's not being considered an official document at this time.
Bessie?
Nice if you can send me an email and then I will relay your message. I will gladly relay the message about it, yes.
Yeah. Bessie?
Yes.
Yes, just because maybe some of the members who are attending this meeting and the ones who will see this video, maybe they are not aware that in 2005, during the Lucerne Congress, it was a resolution to review the Constitution and bylaws. It was the name at that time, bylaws. And it was in 2008 when a committee started the review. The intention, it was that the members, apparently they want easy and short constitution and bylaws in order
a more concise, yes,
and modern. It was a modern that allows the members that, because they don't want to spend so much time during the congresses dealing with discussions about reforms in the governance of BPW International. I found myself in that time, because I've been part of the executive as regional coordinator with Liz Benham, that the members were very confused about what it was the purpose of this new constitution. Personally, I always managed the Constitution 2008, and I talked with the majority of the international past presidents, and none of them had any kind of problems managing the organization based on this constitution and bylaws.
Mhm.
So it was a little bit confused. And for me, the most important thing is that when they made the new constitution, they left aside many of the resolutions that passed during the congresses. So my question it was, so then why we discuss so much if at the end these important decisions of the assembly will not appear on the document? But then the worst part for me it was during the term 2011-2014 as executive secretary, because it was the time that the president decided to give it the document to review, a final review to the past presidents. And we received a document from the former executive secretary of 104 pages.
It was very long.
And I said, where is the modern, the easy to manage when we receive a book of 104 pages? That it was like the perception that we don't want a third book, because before it was constitution, bylaws, and we call book handbook.
Mhm.
And it was apparently a compilation of all the handbooks that we had, plus the constitution, plus the bylaws.
Mhm.
So it was 104 pages.
That's huge, yeah.
Yeah, so then it was another committee formed by the past international presidents to make a new document. So all this left out many important things that we should have in the Constitution, mainly in the new called procedure manual. And the other thing is that the procedure manual, it was established only to be reviewed by the executive. So if the executive have no time to review it, as this I can see during this term, so then there is no way that the members made any amendment to the procedure manual, which should be the document to follow what is in the Constitution and the resolutions.
What the members want, yeah.
Yes, and as a clarification of many of the points that expressed in the Constitution, mainly in the regulations. So what I can see now, it's a big problem, because now we have a lot of documents that many of the things that it was passed during the congresses now is part only of the organization guidelines, which is not a governance document.
Mhm.
Anyway, if you can update it, but anyway, will never be a governance document. The only governance documents that we have is the Constitution, the regulations, and the procedure manual. We can use as a point of reference or clarification the organization guidelines, but that's it. It's like in the past. We never used as a governance document the handbook.
Yeah.
So
Well,
this
I
something that
believe, sorry, Yasmin.
yeah, this is something.
What I was going to say is we are going to be in process of reviewing the organization guidelines. And what I can foresee is that the important things that should be in the procedure manual should be transferred to the procedure manual in a concise form. The reason that we split the procedure manual with the organization guidelines was because of the length of the document. They wanted something concise, so they decided what needs to be done will be in the small book, and how to do things, and the equivalent of the handbook would be the organization guidelines. But some of the things have slipped into the other one, and that things that are mandated should be transferred back to the procedure manual.
Yeah, and well, it's a huge work, but now I want to stress again that the procedure manual that is posted on the website, it is not the one that we approve during the pre-Congress International Board.
Not at the moment. We are working on it to have it corrected and to have it translated.
We don't need that. No, I'm not telling you the correct version after the Congress. The one who is posted in the website, it is not the one that we approve during the International Board pre-Congress meeting.
It is the pre-Congress.
After, we have to update it according what the Assembly approved. But then the latest version that should appear on the website is the one that we approved during the International Board meeting, pre-Congress. So I will appreciate that if possible, it is the one, because if not, we are working in a very old version with this procedure manual.
It's a communication faux pas, and I think that we need to have that corrected promptly.
If I can also jump in here and maybe change the channel to another related topic, actually hinging on what Vicky brought in. Where can new presidents easily access the documents? I know on the website, but can you be more specific? Because if it's a long time established club, well, then they have the documents and they update them and they hand them down. But if it's a newer club or even a brand new club, they might not be so clear on where to access the government's documents.
The liaison between international and the local affiliates is always the regional coordinator.
Right.
So I suggest that if anybody needs to know about an updated document or any information that needs to be done, go to your regional coordinator. She will bring it to the executive if she cannot do it.
But if there's a communications breakdown or there's no response, which does sometimes happen, then where can a president access our Constitution and our bylaws and our procedure manual on the website or somewhere?
It should be done. The ideal thing would be that we have a website that has all the documents, past and current, accessible for the members at any time. There has been some complaints about, it has been brought up. Hopefully it will be corrected.
Okay, so if a president comes in and realizes or wonders if they do have the most updated version, and they've contacted the regional, I want to get this as part of our recording, they have contacted the regional coordinator but don't get a response or not an adequate response, then perhaps their next step would be to write to the membership VP and CC the regional coordinator. I would think membership would also be related.
You can write to me because that's one of my duties is to see that the governance
so
is
currently it's you, but if someone is watching this video a year and a half from now, then it would be the executive secretary on the board.
Yes, goes
but
to the
always
executive
CCing the regional coordinator regardless.
Yes, everything, as I said before in my presentation, it goes up and down the channels. And the executive secretary will see that it's done or bring it up to the executive to see that it is mandated that it's done.
Okay. I wanted to clarify that because before you were talking about, and I think it's very clear that the regional coordinator is between the clubs or in fact, if they have a federation, that's also there. Let me finish. But then when it comes beyond that, you mentioned if it's related to UN, make sure you CC the UN VP. If it's related to membership, make sure you CC her and so on. So when it comes to that level, it's not always so clear who should be addressed. So I wanted to make clear whether it was the secretary or the membership vice president who should be included. If it is
governance, it goes to the secretary.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to be sure about. Okay. Thank you.
Thank you, Vicky, for bringing up that concern.
And thank you for explaining that. And yes, I will follow that one up about the I found the other ones on the website, but the organisation guidelines, no. So thank you.
Yeah.
I will bring up your concerns at the next meeting and see what we can do about it. And we have a Congress coming up in August, so I know that you will bring it up.
I have another question since no one else has jumped in yet. What are some primary issues or concerns about good governance? What are the typical problems that come up or things that you would consider bad governance, if you will? Maybe even just categories. For example, ethics, we know we did that last month, but.
Well, what we need to do is train our leaders so that they know how to conduct the meetings, how the rules are, and make themselves aware of what it takes to bring their organization forward. Many members don't know, haven't read the Constitution. Sometimes they don't even update their own to match the international. And they have to do that as soon as they have the regional conference and they bring the updates. You know, remember, we have to follow the resolutions that the members have brought to the Congress. So they have to update their documents, send them to me, but read them and follow them.
Would you say parliamentary procedure is necessary in the most formal sense? Because I've found that most clubs I've visited around the world do not want to follow strict parliamentary procedures in their regular monthly meeting.
Well, all they have to remember is that women is not the most important part of our organization title. Business and professional, that is the most important. And in order to have an organized meeting, you have to have rules. For example, in California, which is my federation, we have rules of the meeting and we adopt them before the meeting. We do that at the executive and international. You have your rules that you adopt, and that way the meeting is organized. The protocol is the etiquette of the meetings. And if you don't have that, you don't have control of the meeting. You have to have a protocol to follow.
But you've laid out an agenda and making an motion and having a second in discussion and voting. That's pretty standard practice. But
yeah, and don't say
the parliamentary procedure can become much, much more detailed than that. And I think most of our club meetings anyway are not interested in the highly detailed parliamentary procedure for their monthly meetings. So you're giving us a more basic form to follow.
They should follow it as a guide of how to do things, because if everybody talks at the same time, for example, no, you have to have etiquette. And one of the things that I do want to mention is that I have seen many times somebody says, why don't we have a meeting next week? And somebody says, so move. Don't ever say so move, because the secretary is going to put in the minutes, so move. You have to say the motion so that the president can repeat it and it is clear in the minutes for the records. Okay.
Question, Bessie, or comment is that the president, she's not allowed to make motions.
No. No, the president has to keep being like a judge in the court, has to be unbiased. If the president makes a motion, is showing her wishes, and she's not there to decide, she's there to preside. All what she has to do is say, the chair entertains a motion to blah, 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 and then somebody takes the motion and presents it. The president can entertain a motion. Or the president can also say, if there is no objection, we will do this, this, and that. If there is an objection, then discussion follows and a new motion comes. If there is no objection, that means that they all agree with whatever is being proposed. That is the only way the president can say can do what she is intending to do.
But to make that crystal clear, it's not really the president specifically, it's the chair of the meeting, who usually is the president.
Well, yeah.
But if the president is not there and one of the vice presidents or the secretary is chairing the meeting in any given situation.
The presiding officer is the proper.
Because they're acting as a moderator, which is,
officer.
right. So they're acting as a moderator.
The other point is the clarification about the vote of the president also. That sometimes we can see a president saying, "Oh, yes."
No,
And
that is showing bias again.
To vote in the way that that she wants.
Yeah, well, it is in our constitution, not just parliamentary law. Our governance says that the president only votes to break a tie. That's the only time, and she doesn't really have to vote. But if she wishes to vote, it's just to break a tie. The president does not vote. As I said, she's there just to preside.
But more to the point, she's not to sway a vote in any direction.
Yes.
That goes back to if you're chairing a meeting, which is acting as a moderator, you have to be completely neutral.
Correct. Yes.
Vicky, I have a question for you or for Christine, because we know New Zealand are also right up there with Bessie in terms of parliamentary procedure and good governance. Do you have any other, not question, but input for us from your perspective there in New Zealand?
One of the things we do before our own conferences is that we do try and iron out in a sort of a pre-conference meeting any contentious issues, just on an informal meeting basis, usually the night before, so we know what's coming up, and hopefully get to some agreement so that we can then put our effort into things that are going to work for us. So we try and keep our ears very much to the ground, and certainly we have a resolution meeting before conference itself to iron out anything that's contentious, or it's not necessarily to say that it's going to go one way or the other, but it's making sure everyone understands and it's clarified. And the same with the budget. We have a budget meeting before it actually gets to the floor. And those are the things we find valuable, because then everyone feels involved and it's had time to talk. And it's only it's been honed down to vital things that actually come to the conference floor.
And more productive. I want to hinge on that, if I may, and give a very colorful example. I've actually researched cultures that have shamanic practices around the world. For the past 35 years, I've researched this. And typically when a community ritual in any village is coming up, for the week before, it's the main shaman's job to go around to all members of the village and help to resolve all conflicts before they come to the ritual space. So it's an interesting concept. It goes along with what you were saying, that the conflict, to the degree possible, should be resolved beforehand so that the meeting itself can be its most productive. I like that.
It's usually good to have a pre-conference meeting, and that will include not only the budget, but also go over all the issues that are coming up from your group in the form of a resolution. It is very important to have resolutions presented, whatever the wish of the members is, so that they can follow up the ladder. Yes. And I know New Zealand is very good with resolutions. You always have some to present.
Have you seen their manual? I did when I visited. They've got, I don't know how many pages of past resolutions they've passed. By how many, I mean what, Vicky? 30, 50 pages of resolutions? Amazing.
Probably.
Canada is also another federation that is very good presenting resolutions, and they are so detailed in what they want to express themselves. They discuss it and they decide it before their conference. So that doesn't take that much time during the the assembly.
Mm.
One of the things that I always mention is about exactly Canada, New Zealand, Australia also, that before the International Congress, they had a meeting to review and discuss the resolutions that will be presented during the Congress. So they agreed in which way they will vote on these resolutions, because it's very sad, sorry to say, that some affiliates arrive to the Congress without no idea what will be there, what will
Yeah.
happen there, and they just turn and said to the next one, what do you think I have to vote? So it's,
How do you want me to vote?
and the same with the candidates. Please read the documents. It's my advice always. Please, that is why we send the documents 8 months, at least 8 months before the Congress. So everybody can participate. All the papers should be in the hands of all the members 4 months before the Congress. So during the resolutions and the nominations, so it's enough time to read it. But now we need really federations that participate in the amendment of our governance documents. I am working, and you know that, Bessie, because we are also in some meetings, and you always support the members on it, that there is the things that in the past it was like a common sense, that now we realize that there is no common sense sometimes. So we need to put on the papers very clear, yeah? And that it is important for the future. And what we are trying to do, Anne and I, is exactly with these webinars to train our leaders that wants to hold a position in the future, how to do the things, because really we need members that are prepared, that when they said, yes, I swear that I will accomplish with the Constitution, and they never read it, and it's very discouraging.
Unfortunate. It's unfortunate, yeah. Some people prefer.
We also, I know you work on it since 2014, 2017 in the Code of Ethics, and it was approved. And then during the last triennium in my presidency, you presented again and it was approved, but it was not included in our governance documents. And I think that now more than ever, we need to include some code of ethics and some sanctions also, because there is no sanction. If you are elected but you didn't accomplish with your duties, no matter what, you will stay there for the 3 years. So we really need to work on it. I don't know, Vicky, if Vicky, you agree with me and what New Zealand is working on this line.
The president of New Zealand asked me about the code of ethics. She had heard that when I was regional coordinator, I wrote code of ethics and the conflict of interest also. And I presented it during President Frida's term, and the executive approved it. Then with President Jasmine, I presented it again, but it was not included in the procedure manual. It was not included in our governance. I have presented it again this time, and there has been the question that it is not a mandatory document because it is not part of the Constitution.
So that sounds like a resolution to make it a mandatory document, to vote on making it. On that note, we are at the end of our session time, and I would like, Bessie, for you to just have the chance if you have any final words before I bring the meeting to a close. So is there anything else that you'd like to say as our guest speaker today?
I would like that our members that are going to be delegates at the upcoming Congress be prepared for the business. I know we're going to be in a beautiful place and everybody will be excited about it, but let's take care of business. I would like to see that you are aware whether the resolutions that were passed during the Cairo Congress have been followed and have been adopted, and what have we done about them, and be prepared to participate.
Okay.
It
good.
is very important that we get the input of the members. We are there to serve them, to see what they want their organization to go forward so that we can accomplish it.
And on that note, so under the heading of good governance, come to your meetings, come to your federation meetings, come to your annual general meeting, and come to Congress, regional conference, and come to Congress prepared. We'll just summarize there. Thank you for all of you for your participation tonight from 4 a.m. to who knows what time in the middle of the night in New Zealand now, 2 a.m. Ooh, you're almost meeting in the middle. And we really appreciate those of you who have joined us today, this morning, whatever it may be. This will be online within the next few days, and we'll post the link so that you can share it widely. Thanks again to one and all, and we'll bring this, and especially to our speaker, Bessie, and we'll bring this to a close.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you.